Good morning.
Good morning.
Congratulations for making it through the cold. If you'd like to stand, we'll sing our call to worship. You have but one mission, and that's to live your life. You have but one mission, and that's all. No more fooling around, asking anyone's permission. Just ask your very heart and soul. I have but one mission, and that's to live my life. I have but one mission, and that's all. I'm tired of fooling around, asking everyone's permission. Just ask my very heart and soul. I have but one mission, and that's to live your life. You have but one mission, and that's all. No more fooling around, asking anyone's permission. Just ask my very heart and soul. Just ask your very heart and soul. Just ask your very heart and soul.
Welcome to Unity of Traverse City. A sparse crowd, but a hearty one. And just in case you're a little bit on the downside today because of the Lions getting stomped yesterday, we should take into consideration that there are a lot of players on that team that weren't able to play, and it's probably better that they wait till next year. So all of those players that are injured get to participate. Plus, Washington's going to need all the help it can get. Well, my name is Michael Robold. And I'm happy to be the worship assistant today. We have a few announcements, mostly about other people. In other words, the compassionate choices is all about the compassion that we extend to everyone, our families, our neighbors, our coworkers, and Compassionate Choices group is meeting this Wednesday from 6 to 7:30 in the fellowship hall. And that group, along with the rest of us, is envisioning a healing and peace for all beings. So if you aren't feeling like you're part of that group yet, please feel welcome to come and join. Our daily choices certainly reflect our deepest values, and this is a great group, and all are welcome. And continuing with the Compassion Group, they are going to be sponsoring a Plant Forward potluck next Sunday, and that's going to follow the service. So there's a sign-up sheet for anyone who wants to participate in the event, and please plan on bringing a dish to pass. Following the fellowship will be a wonderful documentary called A Prayer for Compassion. And this is definitely worth attending. It's a very powerful film, and so that will be a great combination of the potluck as well as the film. And then the Father Fred Foundation Food Drive. That's coming up, and we're looking for volunteers, as always. It's said that when there are volunteers manning the table, donations are increased by at least 30%. And it just requires, I think, a 2-hour shift. But that's not coming up until February, so you've got time to plan on what you'll be doing on the 22nd. That's a Saturday, from 8 until 5 in the evening. Those are the times that we'll be looking for volunteers. And also, as we've done in the past, we'll be having our own food drive here for the Father Fred Foundation, and that's going to take place between February 3rd and the 23rd. There is no 30 in February. So please consider perhaps in your next food shopping adventures, buying a little bit extra in the upcoming weeks, so that you'll have something to donate. That's it. Very brief. Time for a song.
And the conflict, for the silence and song, for the calm and confusion, for the winter and the warmth. Oh, Father of my soul, thank you for the blessings of the day. Oh, Father of my soul, thank you for the blessings of the day.
Babrum, chum.
Let's take a brief time for our opening prayer. I would invite you to set aside any items that you might be holding, to relax in the comfort of the chair you're sitting in, allowing its support, just as this planet supports each and every one of us. And recognize that we are always supported by that entity that we refer to as Mother, Father, God. or however you picture it. Knowing that there is always much to be grateful for. And in all the trials and challenges, we know that we are supported. Within each of us is that spark of light, the Christ Spirit. And for this we are thankful. And we know that we are the Creator's servants, here to do good work with love and compassion, understanding and forgiveness. We are the light of the world, and so it is. Amen. There's a statement on the screen. Let's affirm that together. Together, my words and actions inspire others. I'd like to call on Marianne Kachalia for some further inspiration.
Good morning. Today is our Earth Care Sunday, when we take a moment to recommit to the care of Mother Earth and all her inhabitants, and to affirm one of the 12 powers for our planet, which today is the power of zeal. Joseph Campbell, in his book, The Power of Myth, wrote, "We have today to learn to get back into accord with the wisdom of nature and realize again our brotherhood with all the animals and the water and the sea. As we read our covenant, let us feel our connection with one another and all living beings." So together, our consciousness reveals that all of creation is connected as one. As a people of faith, we commit to a renewed reverence for life and respect for the interdependent web of all existence. We envision a world where all beings are assured a secure and meaningful life that is ecologically responsible and sustainable. We agree to transform our individual and congregational lives into acts of moral witness, discarding harmful habits for new behaviors that demonstrate our respect for this harmony and interconnectedness. We declare our covenant with God to walk lightly upon the earth for the greatest good of all creation. And before we read our affirmation for zeal, this is from the 12 powers of our planet at Unity's Earth Care curriculum. Zeal is a spiritual power that animates and invigorates us. It is what empowers spiritual activism and the ongoing efforts to make our world a better place for all beings. The spiritual power of zeal is our divine design and power to save us from apathy. As we grow from the light of our awareness of God as source, we are invigorated with ideas and enthusiasm to persist through all circumstances. Zeal moves through our mind, body, and spirit as power, designed and working for the divine purpose, life, flourishing life. So let's read our affirmation for zeal together. Together, Christ awareness of my oneness with God reveals my zeal to be, and do. Each and every day, I am empowered to do that which is mine to do, to care for all of creation. And the Compassionate Choices group, as we've done for the last few, for all the powers, we have an affirmation card for you so that you can pick up. And we also, our little gift this month is a tea light candle, because fire can be symbolic for zeal. And so these little candles remind us to burn with resolve and enthusiasm, to care for our earth and all beings, and to make life-sustaining decisions and choices. So please be sure to pick these up. They'll be on the table in the back. And just as a reminder, some of you probably know this quote from Charles Fillmore, but it talks about zeal. I fairly sizzle with zeal, and enthusiasm and spring forth with a mighty faith to do the things that are mine to do today. That's from Charles, so thank you.
Marianne, can I tell something funny?
Yeah,
Okay.
sure.
I got to tell you this. So years and years ago, in Honolulu, First Unity Church, Scott, my former husband, was the platform person, and he was trying to use that affirmation. And it was in April, because April is the month usually when we focus on zeal. And so he's saying it, and he says that he said, start it for me, first word, with, all right, fairly sizzle, with zeal and enthusiasm, to spring forth with a mighty effort. And everybody started to laugh. It's faith, not effort. So anyway, I just had to I couldn't go on without getting that one out. Thank you. To do that which is mine to do. Yeah. Thank you.
In the silence, there is a sacred place, a secret meeting place. Love is there. In the silence, where every color blends and every rainbow ends. God is there. In the light, now you find that you know peace of mind. In the silence, your path is paved in gold, and all your dreams unfold. Love is there. Peace is there. Truth is there. God is there.
I hope you like this time of service as much as I do. The time when we go inside and meditate. A time when we kind of step away from our citizenry in the outer world and come in and connect with our citizenry inside. So I invite you, if you're comfortable, to place your feet on the floor so that we can root ourselves to the earth. And let your heart space lift and let your shoulders release down. And then notice the gift of life, the breath coming in and out. And feel the breath. Feel it touching your inner body as you're breathing in. It has this massaging quality that comes from God. And notice as you breathe out, the breath has this massaging quality that comes from God. As I breathe in and out, I come into my own breath rhythm. And when I settle into that breath rhythm, then I begin to sense, just by our location, the breath rhythm of one another. And it invites me to let go of whatever hurts, whatever is standing heavy, hovering over us, that is perhaps excess responsibilities, worries, fear, anxiety. And so we come to this place that we call meditation. I invite you here. Be present in your breath. Feel the moment. Begin that process of shedding, of letting go. Any tensions, any stresses. Let's practice the art of being still without being anxious. Let's listen to the quiet, because in the stillness, there is so much. Initially, when we get still, sometimes things surface to the top of the pond. Concerns or physical illnesses, whatever it might be. See what's there. As I become still, some of us welcome the stillness and the quiet. It feels good. And for some, it takes a little while, a little settling. But see what comes up to the surface and don't run. Stay there. Watch it. Be present with it. Don't be afraid. Just keep watching your breath coming in and watching your breath going out. Feel it in the quiet, but don't be afraid. I can be still without anxiety. I can keep breathing in the quiet. No matter what concerns or ailments or issues that are before me, I can remain calm because I have been given a gift of witness consciousness, a gift that was given to me at birth. It is this gift of awareness. It is this gift of the observer that lives inside me. For I am the observer and the one being observed at the same time. I am the witness and the one being witnessed. And this witness that God has given to us at birth has no judgment, it has no opinion. It just is. And it watches us as we begin to relax in our own breath and in this quiet space. This awareness is the Christ consciousness. And in the stillness, it becomes profound. We become aware of it. And in the silence, in the times that are hard and the times that are good, when we come to the quiet, we know God is there. Answers will come. Guidance is abundant. But when we block it, when we are afraid, it can't come in. But in this sacred space of the quiet, let's cultivate some self-compassion. And that makes it so much easier to disperse our own loving kindness. So come into the quiet again. We are more at peace now. We are watching the breath go in and out. We're aware of the witness that lives inside us. It's watching us let go, watching us be open and receptive. Take a moment now. A different experience in the silence. Just listen. Just be aware and see what comes. In this sacred space of the quiet, direct knowledge comes to me through me. It's not something that someone can teach me. It's not something I can even read in a book or watch on the screen. Direct knowledge comes to me from the source, through the witness, but from God's space It is the Christ Spirit within. Hear these words and see how you can apply them more for the health of your own being. Sometimes we take vitamins or good food, but take these. Take the word compassion. How might I apply it more deeply in my own life? For myself, self-compassion. Healing. If I open up my heart space to all that is, how might the healing come? And if I open my heart with authenticity, with tenderness, with loving kindness, what else might come to me? Envision it in the quiet. Father, Mother, God, may I remember this day that there are these gifts that come from Spirit, these and so much more, the gift of love, the gift of hope, that I can breathe in courage, I can breathe out fear. When I remember that all I need to do is come into the stillness, into the silence. You are with me all the time, but when I come to this place, then I really know you are there. I take these gifts with me this day. You are my heart, you are my words, you are my prayers. And so it is. Amen.
But if a prayer is not a plea, a desperate call with tears that fall on bended knee, but breathing out and breathing in, it's God in me that lives and breathes, my trusted friend. is praying. My thoughts are words that God is saying. My laughter is the sound of angels praying. My life is a prayer that God is praying. My life is a prayer that God is praying. My life is a
Wasn't that beautiful?
Exquisite.
The stage is set.
Yeah, thank you, Michael.
Judy Grimes.
Thank you, dear. Thank you. Oh. That was just exquisite. Carol, thank you. Do you believe that your life is a prayer, that God is praying? How could it be any other way? How could it be any other way? Sometimes I feel we forget, but then there are experiences that bring us back to that moment where we know that this isn't an accident, that it was the wonder, the mystery of life that brought us to unity, that brought us together, that brings us here even this morning. And it carries us on to tomorrow and what follows tomorrow. Several slides ago, Molly, there was the one that Martin Luther King said about speaking. And when we don't speak up, our life begins to end, something like that. Reminded me of a podcast I heard in the middle of the night somewhere several months ago. A man who was the governor of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. First name is Derek, last name, anybody know? He's an African-American man. He was young when he was governor of Massachusetts. It was at the time when we were asked as communities to become a refuge for those who were being displaced, for refugees to come. And he said, yes, we will take them. Massachusetts will take them. And so one Saturday morning, he woke up and he said, it was early and his wife had given him the list, his honeydew list. He said, even when you're the governor, you get the honeydew on Saturday morning. And he had the list and it said, go to Home Depot and get these 5 things. He said, so I knew where the things were. I knew exactly what I was to do. I thought, I can just go and I could get them and I could get home and it'll all be smooth and easy. He said, so he put on his T-shirt and he pulled up his jeans and he put on a baseball cap and he had his flip-flops on, so it had to be summer, I guess, and he put on his sunglasses and he thought he snuck into Home Depot. And he said, as I got to the door and I'm inside about 5 steps, the manager of the store goes, welcome, Governor, whatever his last name is. And he goes, oh, shoot, there, my cover's blown. And within a minute, he said, a man came up to him and he started to scream at him and harp at him and said, this is wrong and our money shouldn't be used to take care of these people or these children or whatever, however it was, And he just really ragged on him for quite a while. And then he finally gave up his energy and steam and he said, I got my stuff with help from him and I left. And he said, but before I left and as I was checking out, a woman came up to me and she whispered in my ear, what we are doing is right. Thank you. And he said before he had left the store, he said at least 6 people had come to him and said, thank you, Governor. This is right. They whispered it. And he said what he took out of that is when we know what's right, we need to say it with gusto. Speak up. Say what is right. Don't cower. Did anybody get their wordle this morning? Okay, so that I'm not going to break it for anybody here. Cower is not the word, I can tell you. It's close, but I tried cower, and it didn't work. I tried power, and that didn't work either. And a few other words that didn't work. So anyway, speak up. Say what your truth is. Be the example, the living example. That's why we're here. So I had an opportunity in the last 60 days plus, 60 days, more like, now it'd be more like 75 and more than that, to figure out and think about what I'm doing here. And more than that, to discover it in a different way. The last time I had a chance to share with you what was going on, my thoughts, was November the 3rd. And on November the 4th in the morning, I went into surgery and I had this finger operated on. Now, I thought this is going to be a quick and easy number, just we'll do this and it'll be over and, and out my finger will be smaller and maybe I can get a ring on it and it'll bend properly and it'll do exactly what it's supposed to do. And I have a brand new knuckle in there now that's made of something that's man-made. It's one of the greater things, I guess, that is in here now. It's not the real knuckle. And then that was on Monday. On Wednesday, I had a little carcinoma removed from my nose. Okay, that was smooth, that was easy, that took time. Heal, bandage, but stay home. And by the way, my arm is already in this first sling here. My right arm, get that. And then on the 18th, which was the following Monday, I think, I went in and I had work done on this leg, and veins were turned around and changed and moved over here and all that. So that was on that I think was on the 18th. Maybe it was before that. And then about 3 or 4 days later, I thought, now by this time I'm in a real cast, a firm cast. I can drive down to Traverse City and get the ultrasound that I have to get on the leg, I can do this because Judy's power, impersonated. I can do it. Ken, you don't have to go. I can do it. Well, that was an error, but I did it. And of course, Judy can go to Costco while she's there too and shop for her son, while she's there. So that was kind of a bad call Judy made. Anyway, out of that time showed me a number of things. So I'm going to tell you a little bit. Some of them are external and some of them are internal that happened at that time. The external part is I saw what a wonderful man my husband is and the things he had to do for me. I found out how very right-handed I am and how this arm and hand doesn't do much, but used to wear a wedding ring, and now I lost that somewhere along the way. So sometimes it wears a ring. And it doesn't do much. But during this time, this hand became quite useful. The things I printed on my calendar those first weeks, I have no idea where I'm supposed to go. I've studied them and I've looked at them. The first grader could have done a better job than I was doing with this hand. So that was that good. But Ken was there for me. Ken cut my meat for 60 days. Now, sorry, Marianne, there was meat sometimes. He cut my meat if I had to have that done. We didn't go out to eat because I was eating most of the time with my fingers. Now I'm back in my high chair, just about. If I couldn't get it, finally give up. If I couldn't chase it around, just give up on that. I had no use of the first finger here, too, so all I had really was a thumb. Well, that does not do a heck of a lot without help from its friends here. So that was some of it. I learned, along with Ken being the driver, the chauffeur, he'd say, driving Miss Judy, here we go, wherever I had to go after that one trip to Traverse. Yeah, you brought that up this morning for me, Bob, when you said that. Yeah, he was there when I needed him to do whatever it was that I needed during that time. And I was pretty much at home during that time. But when I did venture out, I learned people are extremely helpful. They see that you have an arm in your arm in a cast, and they hold the door open for you. If they go through ahead of you and they look back, they turned around and came back and opened the door. Somebody pointed out, there's where the button is to open the doors for you, which I'd never done because, after all, that would be a sign of weakness, to have Yeah, you're nodding, Vicki. Yeah, thank you. I mean, it's so dumb, but it was so Judy to say I could push open any heavy door because it's an exercise. And on and on and on. People were there. Conversations happened that I never expected to have happened. But most of the time I was home, and this is where the internal things happened. I live with an author. When you live with an author who is writing, you don't turn on the TV and leave it on all day. You don't break into his thought process unless you really have to do that. You know? Ken doesn't talk a lot. But I know he's very good at conversation in his books. They say that's what his skill is. So he is in conversation all the time, only both sides are right here. And it's not coming out. And I don't interrupt it because sometimes he loses it. Sometimes I can see, just hold it, Judy, just bite your tongue for 15 or 25 minutes or 2 hours, if that's what it takes till he gets to a stopping point. And then you do your talking. So I had silence like I've never known silence. Another thing that I learned during that time that I'm not so fond of is texting. You know how much we don't talk with voices? We text little simple things. But I needed an answer now. And I don't get it from my kids. Really, from my kids or my grandkids, I sure don't get it unless you text. If you text, you get an answer ultimately, right? You're nodding. Yeah, that's the way it is. But if you don't text it, they don't answer the phone very often, so you don't get an answer. So anyway, I had time to reflect, and I had time to go deeper, and I had time to listen. And I realized something as we got through November's not the prettiest month, is it? But as everybody got into the busyness of getting ready for Christmas, I didn't do anything because you can't do much without a hand. So I didn't bake cookies. Oh, well, we all survived, you know. There were no Clifford teas for anybody at my house. That's a family recipe. No Clifford teas. Time to wrap gifts. I wrapped with Ken for his family because we were going to take him to Louisville, though we didn't go. We put him in the mail ultimately. Bags worked just fine, I learned. Okay. The group was coming to our house for Christmas dinner, for Thanksgiving dinner, and for Christmas dinner, and both of those were happening with the grands and the kids. They bring spares home. The younger one brings spares to our small houses. So we have some spares there too. But I wasn't doing the cooking. I learned Costco does a mighty fine job on big things. And mashed potatoes are wonderful from Costco. And, you know, I learned how to make things simple. Take it all, dump it in your casserole, put it in the oven, flies. And flies with the kids. I learned easy. And I learned to listen, to be still and to know like I've not known it before. I'm going to share the 46th Psalm with you today because I believe that for us, being still is going to be necessary more than ever before we speak out. In other words, before we use our power voice, it's time to know that it is God who is speaking through us. It is God's prayer that we're praying. So the 46th Psalm ends with, "Be still and know that I am love." Now, this is in praying the Psalms. "I am exalted among the nations. I am exalted in the earth. The one who knows all hearts is with us. The beloved is our refuge and our strength." Things are changing in our lives. Things are changing in our country. Things are changing in our world. Surprise, right? Yeah. But be still and know I am love. Wherever you are, I am. The beloved, it starts by saying, the beloved is our refuge and our strength, a loving presence in times of trouble. Therefore, we will not fear, though the earth should change, though the mountains shake in the heart of the sea, though its waters roar and foam, though the mountains tremble with its tumult. But there is a river whose streams make glad the holy city, the holy habitation of the Most High. For the beloved is in the midst of it. It shall not be moved. Our loving Creator is an ever-present help. The nations may be at war, countries left in ruins, yet is the voice of the Almighty heard, melting the hearts of stone. The beloved is with us, the infinite heart of love. So my friends, and I edit a little bit there, you know I do that. Come, behold the works of the beloved, how love does reign, even in humanity's desolation. For the beloved makes wars to cease, breaking through the barriers of fear, shattering the greedy and oppressors, refining hearts of iron. So be still and know I am love. I am exalted among the nations. I am exalted in the earth. The one who knows all hearts is with us. The beloved is our refuge and our strength. The 46th Psalm of David. That has meant so much to me, that last part. But I never thought of how it applies to all the situations in our lives, like I have as I prepare myself for whatever is coming next. As I place myself really in the hearts and the homes of our families and our friends in the Los Angeles area, those who have been going through the drastic change of these fires. And what I have found in these times of silence is that this is a newness. We're entering a new phase. This is what happens in winter. We are wintering right now. So we are the hardy souls that are here to enjoy this, to enjoy winter. I told myself that as I drove through winter today I couldn't see taillights ahead of me, and I didn't know if there was anybody behind me. You know, this is the potato fields and Mansalona and a little bit further south. And then I turned on 72 and there was sun and a blue sky. But there are those times when we need to know that God is with us in the midst of the most challenging situations that we could ever come up. Be still and know. Be still and know. How to let God help you. At the beginning of this new year, I always turn, as you know, to Myrtle Fillmore, Mama Myrtle, for some words of advice. And some of her words, I think, help us during this time of wintering. Because what's important is that we remember that winter is quiet. Winter is still. Winter is not ineffective. Winter is doing work in the underground, if you would. There is a lot happening right now. There is a lot that is taking place that is nourishing these trees, these plants, these shrubs. I'm concerned because I put in 7 new shrubs last year, 5 lilacs and 2 junipers. I've been worried about them. I talk to them. I say, come on, kids. You're okay in there, under there. I know you are, even if you're in a drift like the lilacs are right now. I know you're in the midst of a drift. You're okay. And I think about our friends who have gone south. And I think, I don't want to miss this wintering time because this is sacred time. We need to make it sacred, and that's exactly what Mama Myrtle says to us. She says, let us at the beginning of the new year throw the doors of our hearts and homes open to the new. The newing process comes first in mind. Be ye transformed by the renewing of your minds. This is nothing to fear, nothing to dread. It is something to, I would say, cherish, but most of all, to immerse yourself in the process. Nature comes back, things change. But right now, we are here. We are newing. She says, begin with the years and scatter them first. See yourself new, fresh, and full of vigor. Vigor, okay? Then by the same process of transforming change everything you have to deal with daily. Look at it with new eyes, new heart, new sense of being. Everything the ones you live with, those who irritate you, what you may be grieving, the fears that may come up, false evidence appearing real. Remember your truth. You know that God is praying you right in that very moment. She goes on to say, remember Michelangelo and how he looked at that a rock of stone, granite, whatever, and everybody else saw a rock. And what did he see in it? He didn't talk about it. He just started chiseling. He saw an angel. And then Myrtle goes on and she says, there's an angel in your soul. That's why I happened to come across this little angel that I used to wear at Christmas, I think. But I put it on that, yeah, there's an angel on my shoulder. It is the angel of the new. It is the angel that is the beingness of God. In God we live and move and have our being. And through us, God lives and moves and has expression. So she closes her part about talking in the new year that says, behold the new. Behold the new. Behold the beauty. Behold the allness. For that is who you are. That is why you're here. This is your life. Live it fully. Live it fully. Don't shrink. We don't shrink now. We come on with more strength, more vitality, more sense of purpose, more faith than maybe we've ever been called to have, but we bring it forth right now. And what does it take? Well, it takes a number of things. I'm going to have to go through really quickly through these, but you know what they are anyway. It takes patience. Things will happen in their perfect order when it's time for them to happen. Keep the faith, keep the truth, keep speaking their word. It's there. It'll come through. Be present, the presence to the truth. Be the walking, talking example of what God is in this very moment. That's why we're here. That's our purpose, as Martin would say to us. There's a deeper understanding that comes to us. Our perceptions change. These are all P words. And finally comes our participation with knowing this truth, being this truth in action, being here at this time. And we might say, but I didn't choose this, God. Well, we did, because we're the ones who can handle it. We are here now for it by divine appointment. And we know this. That's nothing new there. But now we participate in the way that we are meant to participate. And if you can breathe into that, if you can put your shoulders back and you can stand taller and feel clearer and more confident, more rooted, if you would, in that which is true, then you know what God's doing? God's applauding you. God's so proud of you. God's Spirit, whatever you want to call it, Mother, Father, the Lord, however it comes. And so what did my prayer become during that time of quiet? It was, speak, Lord, for I am listening. Those are the words that came. Those are words, along with I have a little mantra that's mine, but speak, Lord, for I am listening. Would you join me in saying that just at least one time together? Speak, Lord, for I am listening. And then for we, speak, Lord, for we are listening. And so it is. And this truth we carry with us today, tomorrow, every tomorrow to come. We are here to do your will. We are here to be your expression. Let us be all that you've created us to be, and so it is. Amen and amen. Thank you. In the silence.
Thank you so much, Judy. I don't know if you've heard, the end is near. I've heard that since I was a kid. The end is always near because there's a new beginning. So one day we end something, the next day we begin something. So it's not a negative, it's just reality. And I really appreciate your talk today. So, this is the time that we have an opportunity to make a contribution to the work of this facility, this group of people, our musicians, our speakers. All of this is happening because of you, and we appreciate each and every one of you. So as you hold on to that which you are giving today, let's affirm together our prosperity blessing. Together, I am prosperous in every way, and I gratefully and happily share my blessings with others.
These are the gifts of the Spirit, love, joy, and peace. Gifts of the Spirit, are you ready to receive? All the gifts of the Spirit, love, joy, and peace. Gifts of the Spirit, are you ready to receive? Love, are you ready? Joy, are you ready? Peace, are you ready? Are you ready to receive?
another wonderful service. Let's all stand and see what kind of a circle we can make. Well, as always, we welcome anyone who is here for the first time. We do have a packet of information about what we're all about. We also have wonderful chaplains who are available for private, not consultation. You get to tell them what's on your mind, what's in your heart, what you're concerned about. They're great listeners. And one is typically right up here, one is in the hall. And we have a wonderful time of fellowship and refreshments at the other end of the building. And again, thanks to all who made this service what it is. Thank you, Judy, for coming down, and we know you're here for a board meeting as well.
And because I love you. And because I want to say one more thing, Bernice, that I was going to end with, Bernice King, granddaughter, or daughter, I think, of Martin Luther King, said yesterday, maintain your unity. And I thought, oh, well, yeah, that's perfect. So it's in my notes somewhere there. Maintain our unity. That's why we're here.
And I think Raleigh wanted to add a little something to that zeal.
Oh, yeah, I felt if Judy can tell an anecdote about zeal, I wanted to mention that during the church, especially in the lesson, my mind tends to wander and my eyes tend to wander, except when Judy and Bob are speaking.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Since Thanksgiving, since Nancy put up the Christmas decorations, and they've been coming down one by one. But I wanted to just mention that it's really good to have a shadow of Yogi Bear on the wall here.
Okay, yeah.
You see it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And the ribbons.
In this wonderful new year, it's gratifying to know that Yogi Bear is watching over us.
Is that Saint Yogi, Ralph?
Well, let's give thought to everyone who in the world, in our neighborhood, in our country, wherever they are, they need our thoughts, our prayers. They are suffering. And so our hearts go out to them because we are filled with compassion. We are filled with forgiveness, understanding, and certainly love for one another. So if you care to mention any person, place, situation, whether it's silent or out loud, just let it be placed in the circle of love here. So let's affirm this together with our prayer of protection. The light of God surrounds